need to do is focus on the next game. That's the key, guys. We focus on the next game. We take the positives of the last game. We learn, but we go forward. The game is all about sort of going forward. The most important game is the next game that we play, but we spend a bit of time reflecting before we prepare for the next game. So I want you to sort of reflect for a moment, and we can build on this. You describe your career at the moment in football, how you define yourself within your career, your development as a footballer. Think about how far you've come, guys, from the beginning, technically, tactically, mentally, physically. You know, a lot of you have come a long way, and we've all improved. All of us have improved. You know, in the way we do things, and as a team, as a unit. Think about our challenges that we've overcome so far, and our ability to overcome whatever challenges come our way. And now we look for the future story in terms of, you know, where we're going with things. Well, we want to be the best we can be. Focus on what you want to be different to now. Think about the skills you have to achieve that. And I want to think about the football you aspire to be, and the next steps to achieving the dream. Because throughout the week, we've got to dedicate ourselves towards the steps it takes to achieve the dream. And sometimes it's not easy. Some things will go our way. That's the key. So we're going to turn our attention to the next game. We turn our attention to the next game. I want you to think about for a moment the next game, the fixture, and you write down when it is. Is it daytime, nighttime? Which ground you're playing, the field you're playing at, what the weather will probably be likely. I mean, you can write down different permutations for the weather. Your opponents, your role, and scenarios that you might sort of come across. Scenarios could be, if we go up 1-0, we're down 1-0, different scenarios. What will I do if I get a goal disallowed? And I think it was a goal. What will we do if we get a man sent down, or a player sent off? What will we do? So we think of scenarios, and by doing the scenarios, we build pathways in the brain. So when we sort of go into the game situation, we're there and out about. But what we need to do is get a really really crystal clear about what we're doing, guys. We need to be really crystal clear about our role, really crystal clear about our formation. For example, if you watch the game on the weekend, I watched the game on TV, Roma, I noticed they played a 3-4-1-2 against Verona. They were playing a 3-4-2-1, and obviously, you know, Volparo came on, who Tony Basha has been instrumental in his career, but it's all, you know, feet on the ground. You know, I think I can't think of a better person to have in your corner than Tony for a young player, because it's about feet on the ground and one game at a time. But you know, you'll notice he plays in Primavera, number 10 role, but he comes on to replace Efena Gian in 62, and he plays as a forward, Gian, usually through the middle. So, and the reason I say that, you've got to be clear if you're not playing, you know, when you come on, what role you'll be. So you could see obviously that he was clear when he came on. And, you know, in training sessions, when I work with Tony, I've seen Tony 100 times tell players to switch on in the box. And Tony as a player, you know, if it wasn't for maybe a couple of injuries and a few things here and there, he could have easily played at the very highest level. You've got an eye for goal, his spatial awareness, by the way. But it's not about that. The key thing, he will have got into, you know, Volparo's head in training to say, you know, you focus, you know, technique. That's the sort of key. When you get the chance, you take it. So you've got to be clear in your role in the team. And that's why we said earlier, when we did the sessions, about understanding formations. People said, well, Jim, you know, why? Some people say, well, Jim, why is it important for a player to understand formation? Because you've got to be really clear. You've got to know what the formation is, and your role in that formation has got to be really crystal clear. And we're going to sort of focus, for example, let's say you're an attacking midfield. Last week we chose a defensive midfield. This one we'll look at attacking midfielding. So, you know, you might say you focus on dictating the play behind the strikers. You see yourself scoring chances. You know, you bring the attackers into play, become aware of defense penetrating pass in the final third, your technique, you push wide, drift to create goals, shoot from long range. You see yourself helping possession and drive forward the attack, sprint back to help defense if you lose the ball. So this is sort of a key script. You write your own script, but this is where you've got to be really crystal clear with your coach. You need to know exactly what the role is with you and what you need to do going on there. And then obviously it's like writing a script, like you write a script with everything involved here, you know. So I'm going to run through this with you again. Once you've done the script, you read it to yourself. And this is one we're going to revisit over and over again until we, you know, get it spot on, until you sort of go on and you're on your own and you're on the way. So think for a moment, your next game. Obviously, you know, 100 players here. I'm going to cover one role. You all play different roles, but you can tune in and join in with this role here. And if nothing else, it gives you an insight into what an attacking midfielder might do. So it gives us a script I created with an attacking midfielder a long time ago. So if you're comfortable enough to close your eyes, you can do. And I want you to focus now on the fixture for next week and think about the time and the day of the match, the ground, the weather, the feeling, your opponent, who you're playing against, and be really clear about your role. Okay, very clear about your role. Okay, and we can sort of imagine yourself like on a screen, and you can refine your own script. But for now, we'll sort of think about a script I used a few years ago of an attacking midfielder. So you focus on dictating the play. Just imagine yourself watching a screen. You focus on dictating the play behind the strikers. You see yourself creating, scoring chances for the attackers and bringing attacking players into play. You become aware of defense penetrating passes in the final third. Your technique is immaculate. You see yourself with immaculate technique. You push wide and drift inside to create goals. You hit it from long range. You strike from long range, alongside the ball, point to where you want the ball to go, head over the ball, keep your head down. See yourself keeping possession, driving forward the attacks, and sprinting back to help the defense if you lose the ball. Win the ball back, regain possession, dribble past the defense and create goal-scoring opportunities. Create space for attacking players to run forward through balls. And I need to be really aware. And you can like see yourself like doing it on a screen, and then imagine yourself on the screen, doing that role on the screen, really, really crystal clear. That's the sort of key. Being really, really crystal clear is the sort of key to it, guys. Okay, so that's the key thing. That sort of first 2 yards in the head, and we're building neural pathways in the brain, these scenarios, these plays, and we're strengthening neural pathways that we already got in the brain. But we do this, great time to sort of do the script Monday, clear mind for you guys, Monday morning, really, really clear. Take some time to sort of think about it. Then by Friday, you do a run through just before the game, or even throughout the week for a few minutes, because then you go in there and bang, you're on the front foot. You're on the front foot. You're ruthless. You're confident. You get in there. You get in their face. You're clear about what you do. And in training, the perfect time, we reflect on this now, because in training during the week, you see the coach and you say, okay, coach, formation, my role in formation, you sort of note things down, and it's work in progress. That's the sort of key, guys. It's all about work in progress going forward.